using the FOIL method. So let's refresh our memories. If I gave you this simple multiplication of a variable times a quantity, right, because this is the quantity here in parentheses, I would distribute x times x and x times 3, and my answer would be x squared plus 3x. Can't really do anything with that, right? I just distributed because x times x is x squared, x times 3 is 3x. Is everybody with me so far? Easy peasy. Okay. If I gave you this example, 3x times the quantity negative 2x minus 7, I would do the same thing. I would distribute this 3x by multiplying it times both of the terms in the quantity, and I would get negative 6x squared minus 21x. Okay, put some squiggles because now we're going to jump into the new information. So exciting. There was someone I told to ask your parents about FOIL over the weekend. Who was that? What'd they say?
I forgot.
You forgot to ask them?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you go home today, if mom and dad, usually you get in the car, you get off the bus, and they greet you, and they're like, how was your day? Ask them if they remember the FOIL method for algebra. Just throw it out there. Because if they do remember it, they probably don't share the enthusiasm that I do, but they might remember it because it was definitely something that was taught, like this is the only way to do this type of math. So I'm curious if they remember. Kind of like soon we'll get to the quadratic formula, and you'll remember that. Quadratic formula. Okay, so here we go. FOIL method. Notice that there are periods between each letter because this is actually an acronym. FOIL stands for something.
Function of
Nope. Nope. You guys are overthinking it.
Fun.
Nope.
Definitely not.
Definitely not the word fun. Okay, so put your pencils down for a second after you have those two quantities written down, and you're just going to look, listen, learn. If your neighbor tries to write something down, like yell at them, make them stop. I don't want you guys to miss this because what has happened in the past is that the students that try to write while I'm explaining it never fully understand what's happening because they were trying to listen and write and keep up. I promise I'll give you time to catch up. Okay, so what we're going to do is use this method, FOIL, to multiply this quantity times this quantity. And the reason we have this method is so that we are organized. It's strictly about keeping track of what we've already multiplied so we don't accidentally multiply it again, right? So the F stands for first. Don't write this down. O is outer. I is inner. L is last. First, outer, inner, last. Okay? So what that means is I'm going to first multiply the first term in each quantity. So I'm going to do x times x. And I'm going to get x squared. So that's going to be my blue. Nope. You're just listening and learning. And if your friend tries to write it down, like tear the pencil from their hand. So we've got our first ones are multiplied. Outer. So my outer is this x and this 3. So first, outer, so I'm going to have 3 times x equals 3x. That's going to be green. Oops.
Wait, how'd you get 2 on x?
Because x times x is going to be x squared. And then the outer is 3 times x, so I get 3x. The inner,
Oh, I thought it was, never mind.
that's okay. The inner, now this is where it gets a little complicated. This is a minus, right? So it's going to be negative 2 times x, because this is a negative 2 times a positive x. That's going to be yellow. And then last is going to be negative 2 times 3, which equals negative 6. And we'll make that red. Don't pick up your pencils yet. Don't do it. Put your pencils down. So then what I would do is write a polynomial by combining all of these. So I have nothing to combine with x squared, so I just have x squared. What's 3x minus 2x?
1x.
Uh-huh. And then I just have a negative 6. And there's my answer. Isn't that so exciting?
No.
Woo! It's foil! Okay, you can go ahead and write this down.
Oh my.
We're going to do so many of these, you're going to be like, I can't believe I ever thought this was going to be confusing. You're going to be annoyed because you're going to be so good at this, and I'm going to continue making you do it.
I feel like it's gonna get harder. Yeah. She's like, now I'm slow. Next thing you know, I'll have all these.
Did you say I'm going to add slope to it? No, I won't. But that's pretty funny. There is one other thing that gets a little bit more difficult, but you'll be fine. I'm not going to let you guys, like, sink, I promise. You're going to be swimming. No sinking. Only swimming. What? No, I've had a student that didn't know how to swim before. He still doesn't know how to swim. He's in college. It makes me very nervous.
I'd sink in like the 5-foot drop. I died. I had to know how to swim.
I'm just telling you, he's survived. He's made it to college. He doesn't know how to swim. He's perfectly fine staying the shallow end. Kind of sad for him, not going to lie.
This doesn't.
What?
Never mind. I don't need to. I don't need 5 foot. I don't want to go. That's like well, I know that's what
I don't like the ends of the cloud.
I'm gonna try that on myself.
I don't like the ends of the cloud.
Oh, I don't know. Hey, color code, man. Get your color coding going. Make sure you color code. That's going to be your best friend right now.
What were you pushing my neck? Yeah.
It's just the best.
Which one's bluey now? We've done so much. Oh, right, I got it. Where's Mama?
Avery,
He's
sing us the
class.
Bluey theme song.
What?
He sing us the Bluey theme song.
We actually went to our neighbor's house because we don't have a basement. That'll mess around with the fire.
That was me in the morning. You went to your neighbors. My parents, and we were talking.
Yeah, they're very nice people. They don't have little children. And they're like, if you ever need to come over because of severe weather, just call. So I did.
I like blew up because my phone was like I was calling because I had an alarm set. It was bro, I slept through it. I was already up. Yeah, I was you were awake. I was awake. I gotta finish recording that. Let's see. Same. I'm gonna do it like MJ. 2:20. Well, I was bored. I wasn't too early. I was in. Yeah, I was Allie. I always thought it would be kind of like fun to do like in the
to move on. Don't forget to write out here first order. No, I will not be distracted, Avery. Okay, I'm not gonna require you to rewrite what FOIL stands for, but I do want you to continue using the color coding. So what are my first two terms that I'm gonna multiply?
R and 2R.
Yep. R times 2R is going to give me 2R squared. I'm gonna make that blue. Or whatever color you made the F for first. What are the outer terms? Eden?
R and -1.
Yep, R times -1 will give me -1R. And I know oftentimes we don't put the 1 there, but for this, since you're going to have to combine those two, then you're going to want to put the coefficient there. And that's green. Vince, what will be my inner terms?
5 and 2R.
What is it?
5 and 2R. You say inner?
Mm-hmm.
Is that?
You're close. So close.
Oh,
-5. Thank you, Addison. So we have -10R. And then what are the last two terms that I will multiply together? What are they going to be, Hayden?
-5, -1.
And that's going to give me a +5, right? Now I know for a fact everything's been multiplied times each other. So I have all my terms and I just have to combine these to create a polynomial. So it's going to be 2R squared minus 11R plus 5. Questions so far? Everybody's feeling pretty confident with their FOIL abilities?
Go back to
All right, let's move on to the next page. You guys are going to do, well, no, we'll do this one together. This one's a little funky. If you can't remember what FOIL stands for, just look at the last page, first, outer, inner, last. So this one is a little bit different because we have an n and an n squared. We're going to multiply exactly the same way, you just have to pay really close attention to the exponent values, right? So first, it's going to be n times n squared, which will give me n to the third power. Outer is going to be n times 3, gives me 3n. Inner is 2 times n squared, which gives me 2n squared. All right, so when I combine all of these, remember we're going to try to keep them in descending degree order. What would my answer be? What do you think, Eden?
N to the third power plus 2n squared plus 3n plus 6.
Yep. Here we go. N to the third plus 2n squared plus 3n plus 6. I heard someone say it. Addie?
You just have to multiply them.
Yeah, because how do you find the area of a rectangle? Length times width, right? So this is just going to be like what we were doing before. 2x minus 9 times x plus 5. Questions? Okay, we'll do one more example.
Should we do this one on our own?
Sure.
Yeah, like we can go over it.
Sure. Okay.
Oh, very.
I give up.
What? This could be an X. This could be an R. You guys have done these.
Oh.
It's the exact same thing.
What was it?
though.
Oh, I thought you were gonna go
Here you go. I'm going to freeze my screen. You guys got this. Okay, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Big reveal.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, got it right. Yes. Oh, I did.
How excited you guys are about math right now. This is amazing.
Oh, I'm just glad that I didn't.
You didn't have to use what?
That I didn't have to erase it all.
I'm happy for you as well. Questions? Comments?
Yeah, when's our test on?
Concerns?
Yeah, what's our test on this?
I don't know. It depends on how the next 2 days is going to go.
Like,
Maybe Friday. Maybe Friday. That would be the earliest. Friday would be the earliest. Okay, nice job today.